Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today we're going to be working with the runes. For one, the sound is really fun, and two, these things are just absolutely gorgeous. I'll give you a look at them from this little pouch. Yes, they're lapis lazuli, and each one has the gold little symbol on it. And I will admit right now, as much as I've been working with these, as much as they've been part of my divination practice, I still struggle like crazy with these beauties. For some reason, things like this and my pronunciation, I believe this is a Raidho, Raidho, do not quote me on that. As simple as the symbols are, for some reason this is something that just doesn't want to stay in my head to actually work with it. It's like the oracle decks. I have the oracle decks, I share the cards and everything when I do readings, but there's always that guidebook that goes with it. And when it comes to the runes, I don't know if I can fit this in there or not. You see right there, I've got this 3-ring folder. I'm going to open it up and show you because it's not going to fit in my screen. But you've got this page here that talks about the runes, and are letters and alphabets used to write Proto and early Germanic languages before the use of the Roman alphabet. They were a writing tool, not a language. First confirmed inscription date for the Outer Futhark, which is the runes themselves right here, and 24 runes, is 160 CE. The word Futhark contains the first 7 letters of the alphabet, like alpha beta. This is a common practice for alphabets. Well, you think about alpha beta, yeah, that's how it starts, AB. The Outer Futhark is the oldest version, containing 24 letters in 3 families of 8 each. Note, historically, there is no 25th blank rune. That was made up in the 1980s. Now, in this little, in this bag, there is the blank rune. So that, the 80s were very open. The 80s were very technology forward. And so by adding that, that gives you your power. That gives you your strength. I feel like that's showing you that, your thoughts, your mind, and everything is your power. You can take that, and the blank just shows that blank slate that the future is for you. Now, Freya's AETT, 8 is nurture. The Hagal's AETT is introspection, and the Tyr's AETT is warrior virtues. So you have those 3, and then I even have this page in my book, my little 3-ring binder of divination magic, right here with all the different keywords and everything. So I really have been trying to study this. I really have. And I love the fact that you've got the information right here to tell you how to pronounce it and everything. But for some reason, it's not like the tarot to me. I cannot for the life of me seem to keep this stuff in my head. I don't know if you struggle with this too, if you are someone that can just pick up the runes and be like, this means this. And, kudos to you. Amazing. I admire you for that. I'm going to put that stuff. Little click was the binder going back together because I cannot fit it in there, but look how shiny and awesome it is. Yes, this is my divination binder that I first started studying with, along with notebooks and everything like that. But what I'm going to share with you today is something I've showed you before when I did the oracle decks, my favorite oracle decks, and the runes for modern life. The ancient divination cards for today's dilemmas was one of those decks that I shared with you. And like I said a few minutes ago, oracle decks, I do not try to memorize them. I have no interest in memorizing them. The books come in handy, and it is no different with this deck. I absolutely love this for that reason, because that is what it is. It's an oracle deck based on the runes. So what I thought we could do today is do a little reading with this deck and the runes. This is how I do it when I do readings, when I share the runes. I draw one at a time, for that extra little oracle message, because you can do things like that. You can use the oracle just to add, give something more to the tarot itself, and, connect them. They all look cool together, and it flows so beautifully, and it gives you that extra insight and message. So that's what I like to do with the runes. But today I'm going to let the runes shine on their own. We're going to do a reading. We're going to use this deck. We're going to use this awesome guidebook, because I do not have this stuff memorized at all, and we're going to see what it chooses to share. I'm going to set these aside, because all we are going to do with this is show the illustrations from the runes. So we're going to do a 3-card reading like I do usually, and see what wants to come up. If this makes sense, if it flows beautifully, if it resonates with you, if it doesn't. You're just learning about this deck, this awesome deck, Runes for Modern Life, that I purchased at a Spencer's. Spencer's Gifts in the mall. And I think it was less than $20, and it's so worth it, because you have, again, those beautiful illustrations that give you the information, give you the picture with that symbol. So which ones wants to come up with us? I'm just going to draw 3. There is 3 in my hand. Yes, there we go. Which ones? Let's see. That one first, then that one, and then that one. Now we're going to go through these awesome cards in this deck and find each of those. First one up, we have this one. Now this one looks a lot like the illustration, or the illustration of the X right there, but you can see this one is thinner. And that's one of the things that makes runes very, very confusing, is the fact that there are ones that look very similar, but they aren't the same. So we're going to go through, we're going to find that thin X. There it is. And again, cannot pronounce this stuff to save my life. You can see there Nothes. It looks like it's pronounced Nothes, but that's where, you know, the guidebook, the thing that I had, it comes in handy because it's like, here's how you pronounce it. And then you don't look like a total moron when you're trying to pronounce things, because that's, I mean, I embrace it. I'm not good at pronouncing things. I can't even pronounce pronunciation right? And my husband will make fun of me for it and be like, yeah, you're supposed to like pronounce it like this. And I'm like, you know, it's my own weird, wacky self. That's how I want to pronounce it. But there it says, now these. Now these makes a lot of sense too. And the meaning is necessary and need. And so here is what the guidebook shares about this illustration. And then we'll take a little bit of time and look at this illustration as well. The appearance of this rune suggests that someone or something is currently not meeting your needs or is hindering your chance of fulfillment. You can even see in this illustration, yeah, like see that boat over there and everybody's got their life jackets on and they're focused on their own stuff, and over here they're alone and he's ready to give up. He's tired of this. Where was I? The rune is associated with the ancient Nordic need fire, a sacred fire that ancient tribes would light during times of hardship, such as poverty, war, disease, or famine. It is possible that you are having a tough time materially or emotionally. You may feel depleted and frustrated and unable to move forward because of these limitations, but it is during times of challenge and hardship that we learn and grow the most. This rune is urging you to stay patient and not allow self-pity or bitterness to get the better of you. There may be delays, but the hard times will pass and there is light ahead. Indeed, sometimes challenges and hardships are absolutely the best way to strengthen our resolve and help us focus on what truly matters in our lives. So the struggle that these people are dealing with, we do not know their history in the past. I don't know yours. You don't know mine. But that whole ocean of emotion is right there with it. You know, those emotions want to pull us under. When we find that strength, you know, we find that resilience. When we learn from those experiences of the past, you know, the better days are ahead. You see her looking that way. He's looking, you know, still focused on the past, and she's got that hope for the future. And that's what we need to have too, no matter what life throws at us. Now these experiences can make us stronger. That is a good way. I think I might be able to remember this now with those experiences. Like the illustration and that message that we had from the guidebook there. Now these experiences have made us stronger. Keep that in mind. Now we're going to move to the next one. This one right here, I want to call it Sawilo, but again, I don't know. There it is though. So, yeah, I do have like a little bit of a mind when it comes to this. Like it's somewhere in there. It's one of those doors. This is the way my head works and the way I see it. You know, picture a really big hallway, and every room, like there's steps going up, there's steps going down, and each one leads to a hallway. And the way my head works, and your head might work like this too, is every single one of those hallways has a bunch of doors in it. Each of those doors, none of them are locked. They're all just slightly ajar. You have all that information, you know, and when certain things appear, that's when that door opens and you see inside of it. If that makes sense. Yeah, I try to imagine what, you know, a way to say how my head works, and that's how. So that's the illustration you see here. The camping van, you know, that is my dream, to just travel the world in a van, see the world, experience the world, and, you know, just live life to its fullest, experiencing everything there is to experience. Yes. Okay, there, we found it in the guidebook, and it says Sawilo. I got that one right. Woohoo. So there is the rune itself, the lapis lazuli rune, and the illustration, and, you know, you see it as well as I do. And it says the meaning is sun and energy. So all of these experiences of your past, you know, we can find that day in the sun. We can find joy and stuff because we've learned from it, and we can move forward. Here's what it says about Sawilo. There we go. Being closely associated with the sun, this rune is is bursting with natural life, light, energy, and radiance. Illumination is a dominant theme, along with clarity of vision and the defeat of dark forces, confusion, and negativity in your life. You are, or will soon be, experiencing great success, and the only obstacle preventing you from enjoying this joy and light is your own belief that you are not worthy of success. Work on extinguishing those negative assumptions within yourself. Achievement can be yours if you change your attitude, think positively, and trust yourself. The sun is the life force, so this rune is very auspicious in any reading. But there is a warning. Just as flying too close to the sun can get you burned, be careful where and how you direct your energy. Ensure that your plans and dreams are grounded and you don't lose touch with the reality. So it's kind of telling us that this card right here, this energy there, that now these experiences that we have lived through, those things that didn't kill us, made us stronger. And that strongness and that wisdom and that knowledge that is with us can help us find that joy, help us find that day in the sun. But if we're like this dude in this illustration, focusing on all the negativity, then we're just telling the universe we want more of that. And I know personal experience, and I've met people before that tell me this too, when things are going good, like the illustration we have here and that sun and everything, when things are going really good, that's when we worry that those bad things that happened in the past are going to happen again. If we focus on that, though, if we focus on that worry and that negativity and everything, then we're just working against the law of attraction and telling the powers that be that we want more of that. So learn from those experiences, believe we're worthy of that sun, that success, that positivity, that joy, and we're more likely to receive it. So great, empowering message so far from our Runes and Runes Oracle deck. And now we have this final one that I want to call Hagala's. That may be right. It might not. Let's find it in the deck, shall we? I don't think that's the right one, but I'm going to set it aside so I don't have to find it again. In case it is, because it looks a little bit thinner than that, doesn't it? Nope, that's all the cards in the deck. So it is actually Hagalas. And I'm probably, again, pronouncing that incorrectly, but there's a lot of chaos going on in this illustration, isn't there? You see the tornado, you see the flood, you see the car on it, and that guy's like going away with the wind. He might also be using that umbrella to attack the wind. That could be it as well. So I think this has become a present-future advice reading. As you know, those are my favorite ones to do because they're very general, but they give you a lot of information as well. So we have the present, stuff focusing on that negativity, the somberness, the sadness, the experiences that just brought us down. There is hope for the future. There is joy for the future. We just have to believe we are worthy of it and learn from those experiences of the past. So that's the message we have so far at Hagalas, which is Hagalas, that makes sense. Hailstorm and disruption. So this would be the advice position. Let's see what it has to share. Hagalas means hail or stone and is closely associated with the unpredictability of nature, which can cause widespread disruption. Nature is a force we cannot tame despite our best efforts. This rune suggests that crisis is taking over in some area of your life, or at least threatening to take over, and there is little you can do about it, but wait and see where the dust settles. Whatever disruption you are dealing with in your life is beyond your control, but what you can control is your reaction to it. If you can be patient, stay detached, and remain calm, you will weather the storm and may just find the unwanted shakeup has given you an unexpected and liberating new perspective, insight, or direction. It may also remind you that sometimes things happen in our lives that we cannot explain, but these things are amazing opportunities for personal awakening and growth. Just look how beautifully these three runes flow. This is like it's the thing that has occurred in this illustration, the flood, everything that all the negativity, the things out of our control, like it said, like weather. And trust me, that's one thing that I worship, I believe in, and I fear is weather. You cannot tame it. You cannot control it. Things will happen. I've seen many in my life. I know other people have seen a lot more. I live in the mountains, so knock on wood. Tornadoes do not like it here as much as it might like other places. Flooding is definitely an issue here. I live in West Virginia, and they still call it the Great Flood of '85. I was born in December. That occurred in November. So I wasn't actually there to experience it, but I've definitely seen the pictures, heard the stories and everything. And it's nature, dude. Nature is something that we have to respect and worship, or maybe not worship, but respect. And, just know that we can't control everything, but if we don't focus on that negativity, if we learn and have hope that things can learn from that and see every ending that comes as a new beautiful possibility of potential of a great beginning, like this card right here is, that we can keep going and never stop trying, never stop fighting. So this message right here from the runes, now these Suilo and Hagalas, these messages here says, you know, the things that don't kill us make us stronger. We can find that joy. We can find the day in the sun. When we focus on the good and the positivity, we're still here, still fighting, still able to keep going, and the sun will shine again no matter what life throws at us. So that is our message from the runes in my weird way of reading the runes, because I'm not great at it. I thought I'd try it, you know. I like doing these videos that it's like, if I can do it, you can do it too, those kind of things. So if you've got runes and you want to learn the runes, then this is a fantastic deck to do it with, I think. It kind of makes it modern, but it's still very much, you know, the Day of the Runes. Like, weather has always been an issue, right? Destruction and things that we have no control of it want to bring us back, bring us down, but humanity prevails. Humanity keeps going. So that is the message that the runes have to share with us today. Again, Runes from Modern Life is the deck that I'm sharing. Weird 3-ring binder that sparkles and has all my divination message. Yeah, that was part of it too. And of course, the lapis lazuli runestones right here. I got them from Etsy. I'm not sure if they are still available. You know, just go to Etsy and type in runes and you can find different crystals and stuff made of them, different things. With the power of 3D printing and stuff now, you can find all kinds of gorgeous different runes out there. And they're, you know, the more you work with them, it's like the tarot. The more you work with it, the more you might understand it, you might learn it. I mean, I had an idea. You know, the names of stuff, it's kind of stayed in my head behind that door, but I don't go in that door very often, so I don't, you know as much as I should. But that was the message that I had to share with us, and I really enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. If you want a reading with this deck and these runes, then feel free to comment on this video, message me on the socials, or book one directly on my website. I will totally do a reading with these. Any reading that you receive will get a rune message from it, 1 card, 1 rune. So that is an option too. As always, I want to thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you again in the next one.